YouTube is gently up and running. I don't have the sound going straight from the Comrex or the sound quality is not good, so you won't be able to hear Brian as loud. I don't think, but I just want to give people a little bit of a visual of what I'm doing at home and what it's like doing a show sitting at Casa de maybe. So you can check that out if you want to. I'm not gonna go nitpick at the YouTube channel too much because I'll lose my train of thought. And here's the thing: what they're gonna see is exactly what I do all the time, and they're gonna see how boring I actually am. Like I'm the most boring. Just, oh, no, listen, not in the background, right beside me. I sit right next to my big old plant, and it's actually didn't look great right now. It looks fascinating on camera, but next to me, it's a little, it's a little. Yeah, yeah. I just realized it's a little more photogenic than let me water a little. Look, I'm watering as we speak. Don't worry. Make it right. Make it shine a little bit. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm listening to Coach Mike, and I'm listen, Kent. Thank you for starting off with that question because that's what we all want to know. What did they look like when they came back? And to listen to Coach Mike say, no, these dudes are dudes. These are not the dudes. Listen, 42 guys in the first wave have a mentality of an NFL player. I mean, hell, NFL only has 52 players on a team. So that just tells you it's 52 people per team that really have just super dog in them. Right? Right. Right. These rosters are really small in the big scheme of things. And people. Right. No, listen. The Ross. Yeah, the Ross. Go ahead. No, the rosters are tiny. The rosters are absolutely tiny. Yeah, yeah, right. So here's the thing. It was no surprise that 42. You have 42 guys that are dudes, and the coach is like 3 to 4 weeks it should take to get them back, and in 2 weeks they're like, no, coach, we're hungry. Let's do this. Right, right. Okay. So here's the thing. Second wave, Brian. I don't have the number. Oh, I think the second wave was about 30 people. How many got called out? 50%. I, I didn't really I didn't really think about it that way, but you might be right. I mean, I think it was like the guys we need the most, get them back in the first wave. But you might be right. I mean, he might have just seen, right. Listen, when he was asked, out of the second wave, what was the condition like, right? He said, well, about 50% were, listen, and here's the thing. I'm going to pause myself for a second for effect. 42 dogs, dudes, 42 dudes, he said, were ready to go, right? 42 or 42. I just talked about how an NFL roster, every team got 52 dudes that just have a dog mentality. So, 30 people come in second wave, 50%, 15. We had 55 dudes on this team that and this is what he said, Brian. He said about 50% were he said 50% were ready to run with the wolves. Right? And I'm like, that's right right where you need to be. But here's the thing, I won't even sugarcoat it. That's what getting real depth is. Not talent, not anything. Getting real depth is having more guys that are ready to run with the Wolves, mentality wise. You know what I'm saying? And listen, hey, news flash, women, your off season distraction, friend, no schoolwork, no classwork, no structure, no anything to keep you right. So 15 out of 30, been down 3 months, been down 2 months, 15 out of the 30 didn't come back where we needed them to be. Just victims of their structure. Listen, okay. But here's the thing. Just the way he said, I got 15 that came back ready to run with the Wolves. And here's the thing. I thought about it, and immediately when I hear these comments, I know people like I said, people love to scoff at this stuff, but I hear something like that, and I thought about myself not being on that first 42, right? And just the shame and the anger and the embarrassment that my mom has when they find out that I'm not with the first 42. My mom been bragging about how I got a shot at playing this year and all that, and 42 come back and they ask him. They look, my friends' moms are asking her. I right? Can you imagine how much community pressure that is? Right. Listen, Brian, you 100%. This is what I love to do on this show. Like, this is the stuff that doesn't go. Here's the thing. Let's just, I'll use myself as an example because I know my mom was not this kind of mom. But let's just say mom's been bragging about her baby Marcus and how he's going to, like I said, get some clout. So here's the thing. All these moms that's been listening to Mama Mabin brag on her son and how he's going to dominate next year, and everybody that's been listening finds out that her baby is not with the first wave, right? I know. Listen, and I hear her in the background. I know. Listen, you can picture that going on in 30 households, right? Yes. Y- yes. Yes. Listen, them hating ass kids that are making fun of you because they've been jealous of you. The parents is getting the bro back from their adult friends. So 15 of those kids were like, oh my god, I'm gonna get in the lab, and I'm telling you, when I get on that campus, I'ma dominate. You know, yes, yes, yes. And here's the thing: the other 15 felt sorry for themselves. Man, coach hating on me. Oh man, I should have been in the first 40. I should have been first wave. Oh man, they ain't put me in the first wave because they had too many. They had too many wide receivers and they uh, they bringing in some junior college guys that don't know the play, so they just wanted. They asked me. They said, "Hey, Marcus, if you want to come in the first wave, we'll take you. But but we really gotta bring this other. I mean, you're the starter already, but that's what they told me, man. Yeah, no, that's what they told me, man. I'm telling you, right. Right, and this other thing, my mom was having this little get together next week, so I just said, I'll stay here one more week. Yeah, because I'm working it out anyway, and I mean, the coach already know what I could do. Like, I don't got to prove myself. Listen, you can imagine what that life is like. You know what I'm saying? So 15 making excuses, 15 got in the lab, and that's the second wave. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Listen, that's the battle. Like, listen, this is the off-season battle. This is the off-season battle. Listen, did you convince those guys enough during the year that now we get to the off-season, and if you continue on this path, you know what I'm saying, I can help you get to where you need to go. People, this, as you can tell, this is the funnest part of sports, and I'm glad we're getting to have it. Hopefully it continues, but I got some reasons to think it may continue, but just a little bit different than what we're used to. But we're rolling along. Middays with Marcus Maven on 939 The Ville. How much time? Okay. Okay, perfect. Hmm. Hmm. It should be working. I am. Uh, Welcome back. Welcome back. It's middays with Marcus Maven, 8150. 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. People, temperature control. At times like this, it gets no better. If you agree with that sentiment, then you make sure DFH Company is the company you have in mind for all your heating and cooling needs. You can simply call them at 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Ask them about their Mitsubishi Mini Split for that hard to heat, hard to cool area in your home. Like you can see in my background. Brian, did you take a peek at my at my office space? Okay, that means my ears. Um, Let me just say this, people, go get yourself Theranos tonight. You deserve it. It doesn't matter what you've done. You've got through the week. Go get yourself. Last week on Friday, or maybe Thursday. Maybe we had Friday off. I don't remember. But yeah, I think it's last week. I had Theranos pizza, and it was so good. It was so good. So listen, treat yourself, cheat yourself, get you some Theranos. It'll be totally worth it. Like I said, this is I am trying to figure out. Okay, does it mean my headset is too loud or something? Yeah, I screwed. Right. Listen, I totally screwed. You sure? Okay. Okay, perfect. So here's the thing. It did get a little staticky in my end as well. Okay, but so here's what we're gonna do. The Coach Mike didn't just to put a bow tie on the Coach Mike conversation. For those of you who are just joining us, the second hour, we kind of went over the Coach Mike returned from when the time the players returned. Basically, a state of the union for the conditioning program of the summer. He kind of went into details about how, basically each group has 4 hours to work out. They still have the phases separate. If that makes sense. The first wave of guys came through. The second wave, they're not like working out together. So, that way you keep them socially distant. That way you abide by all possible guidelines, and you get to maximize having the kids in the area. Which, listening to that press conference, said, okay, everybody outside of that football complex is doing a bunch of speculating. They're just imagining that guys aren't following the rules and they're just working out and playing football and going crazy. It's not like that. And when you hear the coach talk about the guidelines and them finding out how to get better at which rules and how the nutrition works. I mean, once you start hearing an actual coach explain the day-to-day minutia of what it's like, in the complex, it starts to paint a clearer picture. Okay, you can separate, you can identify if a guy gets sick. They're in pods, they're in space. You know what I'm saying? It's possible to do all that stuff. It's possible, but Right, right. I mean, listen, they have a lot on the line. Don't make the mistake of thinking that they're just like normal community people. When you go to Costco or something and somebody doesn't have on a mask and you just assume that everybody is not like. Don't make that mistake. These guys are taking their jobs really serious and their opportunities to continue with their football. They're taking it really serious. Right. Right, and here's the thing. I mean, as speaking of motivation, is like what we kind of talked about during the first hour. The coaches are going to their individual players, and they're saying, "People, kids, there is a faction of the community that just loves drama." Now is that a fair statement, Brian? That there's people in this market that just love drama, love you know chaos. Right. And listen, no matter how much they say, I mean, I hope nothing goes wrong, but right, and that person, like everybody knows that person. Everybody knows that personality, be it social media personality, be it TV personality, be it radio personality, or yeah, even if they're not paranoid, they just look for the drama. So here's the thing: if I'm the coach, I go to them and say, "Listen, guys, there are people that are praying you get a breakout of COVID. Just so, listen, not that they want you to get sick or anything, but just to have a story to run around talking about. I told you I was right. There's not going to be any football because there's going to be a breakout, and like guys, this is the reason. Like just until we get people relaxed enough to realize that the virus is going to be around and we're going to do the best we can managing it. I'm telling you, there are people that are rooting against you just because they want to be right, and there's a lot of people that are comfortable in their homes and they're comfortable with everybody else being in their homes. You know what I'm saying? But mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. No, listen. I hate throwing Steve under the bus on this one, but we had this conversation. I mean, you can just tell like people love putting on masks and and just covering up their face so they don't have to you know you just taking selfies with a mask on. So you can't be judged, right? Right. Yes. Right. Right. Let me rephrase that. It's not people who love putting on masks, but there are some unintended benefits of just being able to throw on a mask, mind your business, and it be introverted kind of. You know what I'm saying? It's like you said, like the traffic, like the just the pressures of going out and having to get dressed and go do something. Mm. Right. Listen, but again, we're just still talking about the gentle consequences or benefits of kind of no traffic and things like this. And I can listen. I have enough money where I can sit at home. I didn't lose my job. I can work from home. There's a lot of people like that who don't mind getting getting a stimulus check and relaxing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not being harsh about that. I'm just saying there's different people who want different things moving forward. I agree. Hmm. Listen, I mean, I 100% agree with that. I just think I didn't want people to start. Basically, I got worried when I realized people were starting to get too comfortable with this moving forward, and they weren't taking the children in consideration as much as I thought they should because you're comfortable with this life. This is not the life that the kids should be comfortable with because they're not in a they're not in the privileged position where they've already you know went through life. Right. Yeah. I mean, just yeah. Yes. Yes. The overall family unit depends on kids being able to communicate. Okay, so here's the thing. I just this is gonna be the perfect. There is no perfect time to throw this one in there, but based on the conversation we're having, so I just have to say this, and I'm gonna move on from it as fast as humanly possible. So I was reading this, and I was like praying that this was a total fake, right? Brian Hall, can you go to your Twitter and look if there's a WHAS tweet about the title of it is RFID. Oh, no, it's not the title. It's in the first couple of sentences. Um, 6:30 a.m. July 17th. Yes, I see it. Because here's the thing, I want to totally confirm this one before I even. Yep, yep. Listen, I want you to read that full tweet and just read what you can see on the first part. Like you don't even have to click on the link. Yes. Okay. The reason it was good for you to read it is because I know I've pushed people to the point where they like to roll their eyes a little bit, you know what I'm saying, with my general concerns, right? Which which I think, you have the problem, not me. But here's the thing. And I'm gonna kind of, go over what you just said. Brian Hall just read something from WHAS 11, which is, reputable, right? Verify. I'm going to go back over that, Brian. COVID-19 vaccine syringes to have trackers on the outside, not in vaccine. RFID microchips, which will be on the outside of the syringe when the vaccine is ready, are meant to record when and where the vaccinations took place. You can't you can't just write it down on a piece of paper. You can't just enter that in a computer. You gotta put a microchip on something to verify a time and a place, and like, oh, oh, several articles have called into question a government contract to acquire syringes for COVID 19 vaccines. The articles claim that the syringes contain microchips and the manufacturer's website in their evidence. I'm not. Here, I, listen, Brian. But but listen, and here's the thing, Brian. I don't want people to get lost in trying to figure out what the benefit is. What I don't get past the first sentence. RFID microchips on syringe. You kidding me? Right? And it's like listen, I'm not smart enough to know how many ways they can use technology. I mean, listen, I wasn't even the one, like, I didn't care when people said, oh, well, military formations, they tell you to stay 6 feet apart so that, the global, the global tracking can read one from the other, right? Listen, if you think that's conspiracy theory, hey, that's fine, you know what I'm saying? But it is coincidence. Listen, when they say, oh, they're trying to get everything to go digital, all the money to go digital, and now we have a supposed coin shortage, a national coin shortage. Look, I don't know if it's true or not, but it's coincidental. Listen, they were doing that 30 years ago. Which I'm not comfortable with. I don't want to be microchipped. Brian, you can be microchipped all day. I don't want to do that, right? Yeah, but until they say, "Oh, the microchip slipped out and went into your body." Right? Like this, listen, this is psychotic. This this is psychotic. Y'all better go watch Minority Report or something. Y'all better catch up. So here's the thing. Yeah, now you add the microchip to the vaccine needle, because you don't want to employ a data input analysis person to type in, hey, this is Brian Hall on November 17th. He signed up to take his COVID-19 vaccine. Right? So here's the thing. Listen, I'm getting nervous talking about it, people, because if this is the plan, they don't want me talking about it like I am. So let me shut up. Moving along. Let me go to something fun. Be all. Oh, well, absolutely. Listen, for people. No, listen. That's perfectly fine. For people who are listening, who are following along, take a second. Go to. Hold on. I'm sure I tweeted. Okay, I'm going to share it again. There's a kid right now. Can I retweet it again? Retweet it with a comment. Okay, I'm retweeting it again. So if you follow me, it's gonna pop right up on your Twitter now. Okay, B Hall. Describe what you see on this video. No, but even when you read the caption, you're not gonna believe what it looks like in real life. Right. Listen, a, a flat field on the grass, on the ground. He does a full double backflip. Listen, I watched it, and here's the thing, people. If you turn up the volume, he reacts exactly like you would react if you were able to pull something off like that. He's like, "Oh my god, I did it!" I know. Right? Listen, I always think of the most exciting moment that I can relate to somebody that I just know I would act the same way is Tom Cruise in Castaway. That left that left the biggest impression on me. When Tom Cruise made that fire, I mean, you couldn't tell him nothing. I said Tom Cruise. I'm sorry, I didn't mean Tom. I meant I'm sorry, I said Tom Cruise. I meant what's his name? Tom Hanks. Sorry. Okay, yeah. When Tom Hanks did that, when he got that fire started, and he just running around burning himself and just fireflies. I know. Yeah, that one left a real impression on me. But yeah, I would totally be that guy. Okay, compare what you saw in that double backflip, Ryan, to another athletic feat that you've seen, on video that you say that was just the most impressive thing I ever saw. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, of course I do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right? Yeah. Yeah, but here's the thing, Ryan. You can tell me, listen, you can tell me that story, and it's like one of those things like, yeah, that's not real. And you can tell me it was verified and all that, and I'm going to say, yeah, I don't care unless I see it with my own two eyes, that's not real. Yep. Yep. Listen, I have seen that, but here's the problem. That one's kind of trained, so that one's scripted, right? But here's the thing. This is what I thought you were gonna say, and you came so close. Who am I thinking of? Give me the name. Cincinnati Bengals. Goal line, full flip over the guy, and sticks the landing. That's a bummer. that's who am I thinking of? Somebody either texted or tweeted at me. Who am I thinking of? What's the name? What's that guy's name? Front flip Bengals, sticks the landing. What's his name? What is his name? Oh, was it Simpson? That was awesome. That was awesome. Speaking of, I need to get on the wait. Did we ever decide? Did we ever find out what's the ticket situation of the Cincinnati for Detroit Cincinnati? Oh man, and not the Lions, the Tigers. Talking about next week. It was in your Sports Center. I thought it was next Friday. Okay. Yeah. Fair. You've been excited. This is our year. This is our year. Right. Listen, fair enough. I tell you what, the last two subjects are going to be kind of action packed. So let's take our last commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maven on 939 The Ville.